You go, well, you're going to be playing young Wanda in Wandavision in the MCU. And I mean, I didn't know what to do with myself at that point because this is when I found out that I booked like what I was auditioning for. You know, so I screamed and I ran around the house. You probably heard it through the phone, but I don't know. I was so excited. And then I think we hung up and my mom goes, "Who's Wanda Maximoff?"
Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Talent Agent Talk, where we are bringing you educational lessons and real-life stories behind the scenes of TV and film. I'm your host, Jason Lockhart, and also a TV film talent agent. But today, it's really all about our special guest, Michaela Russell.
Hi.
Hey Michaela, what a joy to have you here.
Well, it's a joy to be here. Thank you.
Of course, I remember actually, it was Get Seen who's producing this show is where we met.
Yep.
I'll never forget you doing that commercial audition and just crushing it.
Well, I don't know about crushing it, but I was like 9. But yeah, that was definitely such a special day. I mean, I won't forget it ever.
Yeah, same. I actually talked about it in a workshop recently because I felt like your authenticity really shined through. Shone through? Is it shine through or shown? Shown through?
Your authenticity really shined through? Is shine
Shine
a
through.
word? Shown through? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
You're
it's
authentic.
irrelevant.
You're so
Thank
authentic, and that's
you.
what it is.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much.
I really appreciate that.
Of course. So you know what I want to talk about, though? Even though you've starred in numerous movies, I thought, because I'm such a superhero fan, and we've got the young Wanda from Wandavision sitting here, that it might be kind of cool to share with our audience, a little bit about that experience for
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. And I mean, it's such a cool experience, too. Marvel, period. Like, that's
Global.
all I need to say, It's such a big deal for such an amazing film, like, center of the film industry, It's amazing.
Marvel.
Yeah, it's Marvel. It's marvelous.
Exactly. It is a one-word household name.
Yes, absolutely.
So can you take me back to the audition? Do you remember getting it?
I remember I got an audition, the breakdown, and I had no idea what I was auditioning for. It was Untitled Marvel Project, and the name was completely different, and I remember scrolling through, and it said, "You must be able to perform this audition in a Russian accent and the Russian language, or please decline." And my mom looked at me, and she went, "Can you do a Russian accent?" Because I was 10, And I was like, you know what? Why not try? And so I did the audition. A lot of Googling because the lines were in English and they would italicize the lines that needed to be in Russian, right? And so I had to Google and then YouTube how to do a Russian accent. And again, still had no idea what I was auditioning for, right? And I think we submitted it and moved on. And then I think a few weeks later, we got another audition or you said that Marvel was asking, how quick can we turn around another audition? They wanted another one. And I said, 2 days. Give me 2 days and I'll have it in. And it was a whole new set of sides that I had to learn in Russian and learn the accent. And I did it. 2 days, sent it away, moved on. And then, I think that was it for the auditioning process. I had no idea what I was about to get myself involved in.
I remember being blown away at what you did with not just the language, but the dialect. Like, it was clear that you worked on it and executed the work that you had done.
Thank you. I just remember sitting down and I wrote everything out on paper, like how the words sounded and just try to map it all out. And then I rehearsed it so many times. And I remember we filmed the audition on my mom's like little cheapy iPhone, So that's also really funny. But it was definitely something it did not come for free. It definitely required a lot of work.
Right? More than the usual.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's where real winning is done. I think it's very easy for people to say that's too hard, or I've never done that. So they're afraid of it and they can't do it. Right. And what I love about you and what I really recognized in you in that experience was that you not just took the challenge, but you grabbed that challenge like by the reins and were like, I'm going to own this. And whether or not you booked it, you learned and grew and crushed it.
Thank
And I
you.
remember, of course, I remember saying to casting, like, if she doesn't book this, I don't know how to do my job. You made it
Aw.
look so easy, and I know that it was hard.
Well,
And
I mean, that's something that you have to apply to every audition that you do is obviously not every single audition that you do you're going to book, but you have to go in with that same mindset, whether it's one page and you have a single line or it is 10 pages and in a Russian accent. You know, you have to put in that full effort because even if you don't book it, you still are learning and growing every single time.
absolutely. And I say all the time, and I think this is a great moment to bring it up here, is that a good audition cannot be unseen. So even if you
Yeah.
wouldn't have booked it, you know, Chase and Tara from Feldstein Paris, they couldn't forget that you did that. You know, every time you turn in a great audition, it's being seen by somebody important who is a gatekeeper that can open a door for you. And I think when an actor really realizes that they have that kind of power just turning in a tape, every opportunity is magic, you know?
Yeah.
So take me to the booking. Do you remember when
Oh,
do
I
you remember when
remember
we
the
called?
booking. This one was fun. Yeah, I remember we were in the kitchen. It was my whole family. And my mom's phone rings and she goes over and picks it up. And she goes, "Oh, it's Jason, you know, you, our agent." And and I remember perking up because usually when our agent calls, like it means something work related, and I get excited because I love working. And she answered, and you go, "Is Michaela nearby?" My mom goes, "Yeah,
I
yeah, we are on
remember that
speaker.
too.
Yeah, you're on speakerphone." And I come up, and then we kind of walk over into the living room, and you go, "Well, you're gonna be playing young Wanda in Wandavision in the MCU." And I mean, I didn't know what to do with myself at that point because this is when I found out that I booked like what I was auditioning for. You know, so I screamed and I ran around the house. You probably heard it through the phone, but I don't know. I was so excited. And then I think we hung up and my mom goes, "Who's Wanda Maximoff?" I was like, "It's the Scarlet Witch, you know, the lady with the red hands, and she's got the accent," which explains their whole Russian thing because it's Sokovian. And and my brother's like, "Yeah, it's the Scarlet Witch," and my mom goes, "Who's the Scarlet Witch?" And we're just like, "Oh, parents, you know." But yeah, we had to explain it to her. That was really funny. But yeah, from that moment forward, it was. I mean, it's an unforgettable experience. You know?
Absolutely. And shout out to your parents for being so lovely and just helping make dreams come true.
I mean, I don't know how to be more grateful because it really does take a good support system.
It does. And for any parents watching, it's a full-time job, you know, to help your child make this kind of adventure happen and this kind of money and with this kind of responsibility. It is a full-time job and they'll be treated like adults in many ways.
And it's a parent's job. It's really important to help keep such a young actor grounded and feeling secure and stable and being mindful of what's on set. You know, it really does take a parent's work and or a guardian, and it really is important.
I
And I'm
agree.
so grateful.
That's amazing. So take me to set. So who did you
Okay.
work with? Is there any exciting moment or anything you learned on set?
Well, of course, I got to work with the really exciting and amazing, very talented Matt Shackman, who's the director. He was really great at just getting in there and creating a great picture because I had no idea what was going on in the show because it was so confidential. All I knew was my scene, and he was really talented. And of course, I got to meet the one and only Elizabeth Olsen. She is just the most kind and centered and unique person in the most Elizabeth Olsen way, if that makes sense. I remember the first time I met her, I walked into the house. They had a little apartment set built, and she was in there, and I walk in, and she goes, Are you playing the young version of me? I was like, "Yeah, I'm playing the young version of you." I was like, "I'm Michaela, really nice to meet you." She goes, "I'm Lizzie, so nice to meet you." And we just had a little moment and talked for a minute. And then I remember I got to hang out with her in the hair and makeup trailer for a bit. And they had a wig on her in the show because her hair is super bright red. And they had her wig cap on. She was sitting in the chair next to me. And she looks over at me and she goes, "I'm bald with hair." Because she had her wig cap on. And I was laughing. And I mean, just like little moments like that you don't realize are so special and memorable, you know? And I also got to meet Katherine Hahn. She's so talented. I mean, I remember she popped her head into the room and she goes, "Hey, everybody, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Catherine, hope you have a great day." And I remember looking at her and her hair was all ratted up and crazy. And I'm thinking, did she forget to brush her hair? Like what happened? Because some actors go to set. Obviously, you don't do your hair and makeup because
They're gonna
they
do
do
it.
that on set. And I was thinking maybe she just didn't do anything. Good for her. But then I found out watching the show, it's because she's a witch and they had her hair all crazy for the scene before mine. And it's just funny, your perspective before you actually know what's happening, I guess. But
You don't know what you don't know.
yeah, it was really funny.
Well, I mean, I love this whole experience for you. I know that it was magical, and I can see it right now. So I do want to ask you, though, throughout the whole experience, and even though you've dropped a couple of really great nuggets here, was there a big lesson or anything in particular that you feel that actors of any age watching could potentially benefit from hearing, a lesson you learned in this story?
Yeah, absolutely. This one's pretty unique to me, but it can be applied to so many categories outside of just acting. And my very first gig was Ant-Man and the Wasp. I was a photo double for Abby Ryder Fortson. That was my first time on set, and I really learned so much. There's so many things that you can only learn on set. It's such a master class, and I spent so much time there just being part of the crew and soaking it all in and really being like, wow, this is what it's like to be on set, and I fell in love with it, and I couldn't tell anybody I was working there because it's Marvel. And then finally, when the project came out, I told people that I was working on set at Ant-Man and the Wasp. And, some people were supportive, very supportive. But some people, jealousy kicks in and they'll say some not so nice things. I've had people tell me, "Oh, she thinks she's some actress, like she wasn't even in the credits," which I was part of the crew. And I didn't think that in any way because I was truly learning and having such a great experience at 9. I was 9 at the time. And here's the difference. If I listened to those people who brought me down and tried to crush my dreams of getting into the acting industry, I wouldn't have had the full circle moment of having my own role in the MCU.
Wow. And you know what? It's not just on set that you can learn really great lessons because you just taught one and now people can learn it on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Taught, so many
the power of the internet.
The power of not letting people bring you down.
Yep. And again, that can be applied outside of acting.
Absolutely.
You can't let people crush your dreams. You have to stay true to your heart, and you have to keep going forward.
I couldn't agree more. So speaking of going forward, do you have a dream role?
This one, okay. I have a few, I guess. I feel like this is every girl's dream, but I'd love to be a Disney princess one day.
You should be.
I just want to teach kids important lessons all while wearing a dress and singing. I want to do that. That sounds so fun. And I would also love to be a series regular on a series that families can sit down and have TV dinners to and just watch. And it just brings people together and connects people. And I want to be able to bring my own personality to a character that connects people and really makes people feel seen,
Those are huge. And you know what I love about everything you just said is it also is very realistic for you and quite selfless in my mind that you want to bring this kind of joy. And it wasn't about you and the role that you're trying to achieve. It was more about what you want to provide for audiences and what you want to give the world. I'm a firm believer that we have limited time here on Earth, and it's our job to leave it better than we found it.
Mm-hmm. People forget that that's what acting's all about. They think acting's all about me, look at me on camera. It's not. It's about telling stories and connecting an audience.
Absolutely, at the most human levels possible. Wow, thank you for being here, Michaela. You're such a joy. I'm honored to know you, let alone be part of your team. I really am.
Right back at you. I mean, I don't know what I would do without you. So I really appreciate it. It takes a team.
It takes a team.
Yep.
Well, I do have one quick thank you for you for being here. If you've seen any other episodes, you just won a free car.
Oh.
So go ahead and reach one of your paws into that car or into that bag and pick out
Oh
a
my
free
gosh,
car.
this is so fun. I feel like I'm on The Price is Right. Oh, this is so cute. Okay, I feel like it'd be a crime to not go with something red, right?
Oh, you're actually looking. You're supposed to pick without knowing.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't look.
No, that's all right.
I got something red by accident.
What'd you get?
I got this one.
Let's see. A Tesla. A
Ooh.
Tesla Model S.
Oh, okay, I see. I didn't look. I didn't know it was that.
You've got good taste.
Okay, well,
And
that's
it's red
great.
to match
the
the
theme.
hair bows and the jacket and
And the Scarlet Witch.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being here, Michaela. It means the world to me, and surely everyone watching. Thank you, too, for tuning in. And if you would like to be a guest on our show one day, feel free to pitch us your story or your great lesson that you learned from a booking. Just send it over to talentagenttalk@gmail.com. Again, that's talentagenttalk@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Michaela.
Thank you, and thank you.
I hope something great happens to you today.
Thanks for watching this episode of Talent Agent Talk. And if you're enjoying these booking stories and your host, Jason Lockhart, then I hope that you'll join us at the Virtual Actors Summit. One of our sessions is going to be with Jason, focused on different tapes and self-tape auditions that have booked and diving into why we think they've booked and different lessons within them. So it's kind of like this show, but really diving in. So if you're enjoying this, I know that you'll love that session at the Virtual Actors Summit. It's going to be a 3-day event. We're bringing in incredible guests like Chase Paris, Ryan Glorioso, Erica Arvold, just to name a few. So I hope you'll grab your ticket. There's a promo in the description below. So we'll see you there.